What's going on, Junkie Nation? Gorgeous George Engos checking in. Today we get to talk to one of our longtime favorites, Michael the Menace Johnson, fighting out of South Florida, originally from the Midwest, like over 15 years, maybe even closer to 2 decades if you include the reality show. I was counting on Michael, like this is number 32 or number 33, right?
Yeah, just about. I lost track a while ago.
Yeah, man, that's incredible. Like that's quite a few eras of fighting. One of the fights was on Fuel TV for crying out loud.
Yeah, I know. I made a comment in the gym the other day. I think I'm might be one of the fighters now that's fought on like every new TV deal the UFC's gotten in
Were
here.
you part of Spike on the reality show?
Yeah, that's a reality show. We started off on Spike.
So Spike, and then I see Fox because you were pretty much when Fox
Yeah, so
started
Fuel and you remember Versus and
versus.
Fox and ESPN and now Paramount.
Yeah. Have you not fought someone you could still fight, or you just missed out on that person?
Um, you mean is there somebody left that I want to fight that I haven't?
Yeah, or that you didn't fight that you would have wanted to.
Yeah, there's a few. Max Holloway.
Okay, so that's still available.
Yeah, which is still available. So hopefully he still sticks around after this next fight. But yeah, that was a big one. That's one that I asked for. I wanted to get up close enough to fight, Oliveira and these guys. So, there's a few guys still around.
Hmm. You're 39, but I have not seen the speed leave you. It's still there. And they say with the lighter weight fighters, sometimes that's what starts to go. How hard do you have to work even harder to maintain, being sharp? Because that has been a big weapon of yours.
Yeah, appreciate that. And I think I've worked less these days, because I've put in so much time over the years. So it's been more about kind of resting and preserving my body a lot, but
Yeah.
just continuing to stay sharp. I always shadow box, I always make sure I'm on my toes. I always make sure my feet are moving and I can keep my wits about me. But yeah, other than that, I just don't take too much stress on my body anymore.
What would you say is the secret recipe for maintaining this type of longevity that's getting more rare and rare in MMA?
I wish I knew. I wish I knew the secret sauce. I contribute mine to just sticking around because I'm not done. I've been in this sport for 16 years. I'm not satisfied in what I've accomplished yet. I want to accomplish more. I still want to, get as close as I can to a world title, if not win it. And, I need to, put some things aside and, leave this game to be able to say, okay, now I know I don't want to leave this game and not have anything, so that's it. But like I said, the main thing is I really take care of my body a lot. I don't train as hard, like I said, and yeah, it's just I just stay hungry for more success and getting better every day.
And if you're not training as much, are they just shorter workouts but still strenuous, or have you cut down from maybe 6 times a week to 4 times a week? Like maybe tell us whatever you want to share. Obviously,
Yeah, no, I still
we're not
no. There's
suggesting
still
phoning it in or nothing.
yeah. No, I still got my like 2 sessions a day, maybe even 3 sessions a day. I try to stay moving and keep busy, So maybe they're not just to where I spar really, really hard, like 2 or 3 times a week or things like that. So, it's came on to more like I'm drilling for longer, more slow paced drills, just, things to stay active and sharp, just like I said. So maybe the practices are a little bit longer, but they're not as strenuous on my body.
What's nicer to you since you can do both? The kicking knockout or the hands knockout?
Yeah, I like the hands knockouts, of course. I'm still waiting on my kick knockout, so maybe we'll work on that one towards this fight.
What about shutting someone down in the liver? Is that as good, or you want to zap them?
That would be a good one, a liver shot knockout. That would be pretty satisfying. I think a body shot, dropping them to the body is I think that gets I think that trumps everything.
Yeah. Michael Johnson, our guest here on MMA Junkie Radio, is going to be fighting at UFC 324 to start off the Paramount Plus era. So Spike, Fox, and now CBS Paramount Plus. My man's done it all. He's got Alexander Hernandez up on the other side of the octagon facing him that night. This card is headlined by Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett for the interim lightweight title. All right, goes. What do you have from Michael Johnson?
Michael, when you look at your opponent and you look at his streak that he's on, you kind of evaluate where he's been in his career. Do you feel like the streak, have you seen improvements in his game? Is it the opponents that he's faced? What do you think has kind of happened for him to be on this streak right now?
Yeah, I've seen some improvements in Hernandez's game for sure, and I definitely think a big thing with him is confidence. He's got a few knockouts. He's going into these fights and he's winning. He's pretty athletic. So he's really going into these fights, like I said, really confident, and I definitely see that. So we've game planned very well for him, so we'll be ready.
When you look over that game plan, do you see multiple ways of this fight ending, or is there one in particular that's kind of stuck out as you've been doing your homework and working this out?
Well, I'm always going for knockouts. That's it. You can ask me anytime I sign a contract, you tell me how the fight's going, and I say, yeah, I'm gonna knock him out, no problem. And yeah, that's a joke that goes around with us. But like I said, I'm just in there to win. I'm gonna just stick to the process, stick to what I need to do, and stick to the game plan. And however the fight ends, that's how it ends.
When it comes to chapters in a fighter's life and their career, those bonuses are great and they can help out a lot. But are they more prevalent like in the beginning, towards the end, in the middle? Like when do you think about them the most? Or are they just always there?
I would think bonuses are kind of just always there. They're bonuses, So if you think about them, you're gonna kind of maybe forget about the game plan or forget about the main objective, and that's to win a fight. So maybe they're good earlier because of obviously the pay. The bonuses would be good for somebody that's not making as much, but hey, a bonus is a bonus, so it's always good to get extra money.
I'm kind of bitter because I'm thinking back to like maybe the first time we interviewed you. You look the same. We do not. What is going on here? I've been like staring at you the whole time. I'm like, man, he looks the same. Well, what's in your jeans, dude?
I don't know. We got to ask Mom for that one.
Yeah.
That's my
Okay.
Mississippi water, I guess. Huh?
Well, he works out and maintains a healthy weight. That's a start.
That's a start. Yeah. So I want to ask you a little bit about something like, would you ever have a post-UFC career? And the only reason I ask that is because whenever your fights come up and we have to look at them and break them down, one thing that I always mention about you is your footwork is incredible and your hands are very good, your positioning and all that. And I think you would do good in boxing or even, bare knuckle if it ever came to that. What have you ever thought about that? Because you just excel so well at that I've always been curious if you'd ever do that.
Yeah, appreciate that, man. Thank you. And I would love to box. That's always been on my mindset. Especially when Zuffa boxing first came around. I really wanted to get into it. And then once, of course, all these influence boxers starting to happen and the money being put into it. But I would love to get some boxing matches, but like a real boxing match, like one of the Charlo twins or one of these guys like that, close to high level guys, because I think I can't go in there and compete.
Now, would it be more about the competition, like you said, a Charlo brother, or it just seems like there are some crazy YouTubers out there that somehow can get you paid? What's more attractive to you?
Yeah, see, the crazy thing is the money's always going to be more attractive to you. So obviously that's definitely not off the table. But like I said, I'm contracted to the UFC. I want to become a world champion. I got to focus on those things. So, I still got 4 more. I just signed a new deal with 4 more fights left. So I'm going to look to go, 4-0. But if one of these things does arise, of course, the money's going to be a big thing I would like to go for. But definitely want to see the competition because the money always comes with the competition anyway. So.
Mm-hmm. All right. I saw you, well, only because I always come around to give you props over the wins that you've had, like Poirier and Ferguson, and when I think of Ferguson, I think of what he's been doing, boxing post UFC. But you're still in the UFC, so I get it. We'll focus on that. But I guess because of the fact that you've preserved your body so well, I'd like you to get some of that stupid money they're throwing around too. You know what I'm saying? Smoke some YouTuber.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get it.
Something
Yeah, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. It's all gonna happen for sure. That's my plan. I think I'm sticking around for so long, looking good and staying focused. I need to get my hands on some of this money out here.
Yeah. All right, and then Duncan French from the UFCPI a few months ago. You were there, and were you just an athlete that was chosen to participate? They're doing studies for brain health, or was that your initiative to just say, I want to look after myself? How did that come about? From that pic I saw from about 2 months ago.
Oh yeah, so that was pretty much my initiative, but it all started with I'm working with and I partner with a company called Neurovo Labs, and pretty much what it is these are old military and vet guys that came in and they like created a game, a simulation to where it goes in and it's healing people's brain that have like real bad like PTSD, and
Yep.
it's healing and it's healing things that just a lot of brain trauma, and it's like helping with sleep and recovery, and they see that benefiting people a lot better than like them getting on pills or not getting healthy at all. So I just put two and two together, and we set up a meeting with the UFC to try to get this implemented into the UFC to hopefully help some fighters and get some brain health. So it just happens that they were kind of doing the same thing at the same time, and I was able to get the team I'm working with over at Neurovo Labs to come in and set a meeting up. So
I don't know how open you can be about the next question, but over almost 2 decades of fighting, have you ever had any scares, even if it was for a day, you just couldn't remember your way home or anything? Or have you gotten lucky and been able to preserve everything despite all the contact, practice, and fights?
luckily, I've been able to preserve it, God willingly.
Mhm.
I haven't had any scares, anything
Cool.
like that. Everything's working real fine. So I'm doing something right, or I'm just extremely durable. One of the two.
I'd like to see you if they ever open. You might tell me I'm crazy, but when I saw that, I go, man, he would be a good ambassador for the UFC post fight, because at some point they got to build a UFC PI in SoFla. There's too many of you guys down there, big gyms, a lot of fighters, and Miami seems like a hub from Europe and
Yeah,
South America and all that.
it would save me time to fly because I fly over to Vegas just for the PI all the time.
Yeah.
Definitely save me some money.
Would you ever do something like that, like what Forrest Griffin's doing, get involved with the UFC post fighting?
Yeah, I'd love to still stick around and help out the fighters in the company. Man, it's been a great ride for me. 16 years in running.
Yeah.
I continue to do more. Like I don't know when I'm gonna be done, and I'm looking good, so I don't count on it anytime soon.
That's a long time. It's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. A lot of highlights too. You've provided a lot of highlights. Are there any that are your favorite?
No, not really. I don't really think on the highlights too much. All the downfalls keep me going. All the things that man, I was this close to this fight, or I need to be in this position, and everything's just like a real big learning process for me. Initially, I pretty much started in the UFC. I was still kind of getting familiar with the sport, and I was just picking the tough guys to get familiar with everything. And now, I might be a late bloomer, finally hitting my stride at 39. So.
I want to thank you for the time today. We're closing in on your fight, so I know the time's precious for you to be on point with weight, training, all that. So best of luck with the rest of the camp. The fight's coming up here in 16 days, just over 2 weeks. Should be a banger, man. Hernandez is on a roll as well. So are you. I think you both are on at least 3 or 4 fight win streaks going on right now. So that's awesome.
I'm looking forward to it, man. Hernandez is tough. So, like I said, I always want to fight the best of the best guys. So, he's one of the good guys right now that's on his streak. So, that's who I want.
What round does it end, by the way?
Who knows? I'm looking to go 15 minutes. Second round, we'll see. That's when I get kicking. but hey, I'm set and I'm prepared for 15 minutes, so that's what I'm going for.
Got it. All right, Menace. Take care, man. Talk to you soon.
You want to take it easy. Have a good night.